To the U.S. missile strike on a Syrian airfield, a new poll suggests Americans want the country to play a bigger role in ending that civil war.
According to a new Morning Consult Politico poll, 63% think the U.S. should be doing more. Most, 57%, support additional airstrikes. 41% back sending more weapons to Syrian rebels, while 39% support using U.S. ground troops to remove Bashar al-Assad from power. The poll was conducted in the 3 days following the missile strikes aimed at deterring Syria from using chemical weapons.
Correspondent Wally Hines reporting. An investigation of UN missions during the past 12 years found nearly 2,000 allegations of sexual abuse and exploitation by UN peacekeepers and other personnel, signaling the crisis is much larger than previously known. The AP found more than 300 of the allegations involved children. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. Federal investigators say they have credible evidence of sexual harassment at Yellowstone National Park. Correspondent Linda Kenyon has more.
The Interior Department's Inspector General says male supervisors and staff in the maintenance division at Yellowstone created a work environment that included unwelcome and inappropriate comments and actions toward female employees. The IG report says more than 100 current and former employees were interviewed in the investigation that began last September after complaints about a men's club environment that encouraged exploitation and abuse of female workers. The report also says the division's supervisor should have known about the behavior and addressed it. Linda Kenyon, Washington.
Iran's former President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad has described comments by the country's supreme leader suggesting he not run in May's presidential election as just advice. Ahmadinejad made the comments at a news conference in Tehran after stunning election officials by registering. More on these stories at townhall.com.
If you're eligible for Medicare, you need to know there is money available to you that can lower your Medicare prescription costs. How much can you save? Find out now by making a free call to Health Markets. They'll search from a variety of nationally recognized plans to find you the right coverage at a price that fits your budget. And they'll do all this valuable research for you at no charge to you. And remember, you may be able to save money on your prescriptions. We'll tell you if you qualify. Why pay a penny more than you have to for an insurance policy? Let us find you the right plan at the right price and see if you qualify to lower your prescription costs. Put our free service to work for you at no charge. Call Health Markets right now.
800-990-0351. 800-990-0351. 800-990-0351. That's 800-990-0351.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., licensed in all 50 states and D.C. Service and product availability varies by state. Agents may be compensated based on your enrollment.
Hi, I'm Dr. Parthenia Grant. Tune into my show, Divine Love Talk, where you will learn secrets to longevity and health, ways to move into oneness, discover powerful tools to gain victory over self-sabotage, and get enlightened about relationships. So tune in to CRN for Divine Love Talk right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
So tune in to Divine Love Talk Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Sports Lounge. I'm Michael Horn. I'm not the star of the show. I'm just the announcer. The guy that has all the facts, knows everything about sports. The real star of the show is a guy we call Sultan. The Sultan of safeties, 2 safeties in 1 game. The all-pro defensive end, football legend, the acting superstar, the iconic actor, the one and only Mr. Fred Dryer.
Hey, how about that introduction? Thank you so much, Michael Horn, and welcome to our show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in a very good mood today because today is my daughter's 33rd birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to your daughter. She's a lovely person.
Caitlin Nell Dryer, 33 today. We wish her all the best. She's there, holding down the teepee in Oklahoma.
And she does live in a teepee, by the way. You sent that to her. It's good. I love it in there. And
with plastic furniture.
Do you guys still communicate with smoke signals?
Yeah, I have a Zippo lighter and a lot of extra weeds in the back of my trunk. I just set on fire and drive around real fast.
That's good.
Well, anyway,
happy birthday to
she's
Kate.
33 and she's great. She got
You shouldn't tell a lady's
got,
age on the air, should you?
That's all right. That's what it
Sorry,
does.
Caitlin.
That's my job description.
She looks 21. I've seen pictures.
No, she's terrific, and the kids are wonderful. Emma is 10 this July. Ellie will be 8 in September, and baby Freddie will be 5.
Baby Freddie, named after whom?
You are looking at him.
Yeah. You have a great fun with your daughter and the grandkids when you go back to
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. I've always been a big believer that you just, no matter who the kids are, if they're yours or their neighbors or whoever they are, if you approach them with a big smile on your face and have a lot of fun and include them, they just melt right there in your hand.
Yeah, they do.
They're the best. They're great for you, and I'm really blessed to have everybody healthy and above ground and here with us. So I'm blessed here.
Something else that melts in your hand are the fried grasshoppers they are serving this season in Seattle at the ballpark. They actually have some fried grasshoppers that they're using as a...
It's such a smart baseball snack.
Isn't it? The Dodgers had the Dodger Burger, which has the Dodger dog inside of the burger bun and everything. So you got a burger and the Dodger dog. They got Doug's Dogs there in Chicago. And now this new, and they sold these things out on opening day, these grasshoppers that they're serving in Seattle. People were hopping mad for these things.
It's a bird dog.
They ran out of them and people got hopping mad. They're nuts. They really are.
Just,
It's really something. I mean, it's weird. It's been a weird season already, including the Marlins Park where they had a cat climbing the outfield wall. And by the way, as Charlie Sinerstedt, he said, and makes the cat for the out. No, there was a cat climbing up the wall.
Was he in full uniform?
Yeah, the cat was. I believe so, in the Marlins uniform. They had the center fielder must have gone down for injuries, and they put a cat out there.
That's the 10th man. That's the very.
That's
the
10th man.
10th man on the field.
Yeah. That's good. We'll have to post that on our website so you can watch the cat go up the wall there. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in baseball.
There was a dog that got loose, I think it was in Atlanta, years ago when I was playing down there.
Football?
Yeah, and everybody chased after it and no one could catch it.
Yeah, that was one hot, slippery dog, let me tell you.
That was a hot dog.
All right, follow Fred. He is available for you on Twitter at Fred_Dryer, D-R-Y-E-R, Facebook.com/the real Fred Dryer. And don't forget, we'll read some emails, but you got to send them to him. Fred Dryer, D-R-Y-E-R, at crntalk.com.
Welcome to Staples.
Staples guy, I have my own business, so I wear lots of hats. Now I'm wearing my office manager hat because I need supplies.
Well, Staples has everything you need.
Now I'm putting on my CFO hat because I can't overspend.
And you won't. Right now, 10 ream cases of Staples multi-purpose paper are just $19.99.
All my hats, and I would like to thank you.
They are welcome.
Staples, everything you need for business at great prices. And now, 10 ream cases of Staples multi-purpose paper are just $19.99. In-store only, limit 2 per customer, plus tax where applicable. Ends 4/15/17.
This is Pete's yard, and Pete's happy that winter's finally over. Still, winter's damage is done and has left Pete's yard withered and weak. But Pete knows all he needs is Scott's Turf Builder Lawn Food. It greens and thickens lawns to help crowd out weeds, guaranteed. Just 2 simple feedings, one now and one later this spring. So Pete can easily take his grass from hungry to healthy. This is a Scott's yard. Pick up Scott's Turf Builder Lawn Food today.
We are back in the lounge. We call it our sports lounge. We being yours truly, Michael Horn, the star of our show, Mr. Fred Dryer, the football and acting legend. And as we mentioned, these toasted grasshoppers, they weren't fried, I'm sorry, they're toasted grasshoppers.
Well, that's a difference.
And they didn't think they'd sell them out, but the fans went nuts in Seattle. The Seattle Mariners said they would sell toasted grasshoppers at their home opener against the Houston Astros, and apparently these are very high protein. It's a delicacy, and it was so adorned by fans they actually sold out on these things. They were tossed with a chili lime salt for some extra zing, and the broadcasters enjoyed them as well. So would you eat a grasshopper?
No.
Thank you, grasshopper.
I was in China, and everything that moves is is fried.
Come on, really?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, really something.
I've seen things, the weirdest, from spiders, different sizes and shapes of spiders, deep fried. Pal.
Everything fried. The chocolate covered ants. I know those are available.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a big deal going on here. If you're an Indian fan over there, the Cleveland Indians, they have the Chief Wahoo logo. The Indians are one of the building blocks of baseball, are they not, Fred Dreyer? They've been around a while.
What's that?
The Cleveland Indians have been around for a long time, and they have Chief Wahoo as their logo. And now the organizers that have been protesting the Indians' use of that logo of Chief Wahoo are in talks now.
But it's a real person.
With Major League Baseball about changes to the symbol. The group has asked the Indians to abolish the red-faced smiling logo and their nickname outside the field. It's like, go home.
No, here's what I do. I've never.
What would you do, Fred?
I've never liked the grinning oafish picture of the Indian with one feather on its head on the cap. I've never liked that.
So you want to get rid of it?
I always thought, just like the Milwaukee Braves, they've detuned their uniform. They've taken off a lot of the stuff that associated with the Milwaukee Braves. I want to see a picture of Chief Wahoo on the front of the ball cap and on the sleeves of the baseball
You agree
uniform.
that you want it there, right?
I want to see it there.
I want to see it.
I want to celebrate.
Come on.
Yeah,
It's like
Chief Wahoo. Come on.
Come on, it's nothing offensive to any person out there. I mean, have the Los Angeles Czechs. I would be honored to have the Czech Republic on the logo, and some Czech guy drinking a beer or something on the logo of a.
Well, that's on the state flag, isn't it?
In the Czech
a drunk
Republic.
Czech.
There was a canceled Czech one time that I had.
It was a drunk Czech riding a bum Czech.
We Czechs are, we like to get the notoriety. I mean, I'm just telling you, let's just leave the Indians alone. For gosh sakes, the Washington Redskins. I mean,
now that this president, what was his name?
Donald Trump, but are not saying that. Donald Trump says he likes it.
No.
That'll be the end of it.
Barry Obama. Yeah, now that he's out of office,
Barack Obama.
I call him Barry. You can count on you're not going to hear anything about the name of the Washington Redskins.
That's it, right?
That's
done?
It. You're done. It was all politics, and for that I commend Daniel Snyder, owner of the Redskins, for telling people to pump it.
Yeah, well, the Indians are caving. They're having talks with Major League Baseball about further changes. They want to maybe make some changes to the logo or something. But it's like, who's owned these people? Bob Hope used to own them years ago. You wouldn't see Bob Hope changing the logo. For gosh sakes, Chief Wahoo is the chief, man. That's the Cleveland Indians. Al Kaline, all these greats played there. I mean, leave it alone. For any logo, you can have somebody protesting it. I'm sorry. You just can't for anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
A bunch of kings got together and were upset with the Los Angeles Kings because they thought they were making fun of royalty.
Well, they're going to let a judge decide, aren't they?
No, we'll let Bob Miller, who's going to be a guest here coming up on the show, the legendary
I have a couple questions
broadcaster
that I want to ask Bob.
44 years with the Los Angeles Kings. I love this guy, Bob Miller. He's great. So, so a lot of things over there. And they're saying the president of the Marlins said he's not going to be shocked if the owner, Loria, were to sell the team this year. They think that team may be on the block. And here's a bulletin that just came across our desk here. For those of you that are in the buffet line, a former Dodger, former San Diego Padre, now Atlanta Braves, saying it's the favorite team he's ever played on. Matt Kemp apparently has, at this early stage of the season, and this could be serious, a hamstring injury.
Not Matt. Not
He's
Matt
need
Kemp.
Some more time for recovery. He was placed
8 games into the season.
He was placed on the 10-day disabled list, retroactive to April 8th.
What did they tell you?
So he could return on April 18th.
All these $1 million players with leg injuries. I've said this before.
Say it again.
And I'm going to tell it to you till you get sick of it. All of these people with leg injuries are incompetent. They should be fined, and they should be sued to reclaim their prorated contracts back.
That's right. You know,
You should never have leg injuries. You should never have them.
Here's a player for you, Buster Posey, one of the great catchers in baseball, right? Plays for the Giants. He's on a 7-day disabled list because he's got a concussion after taking a fastball off the helmet. Now, there's an injury.
Did you see that?
Yeah, it was terrible, and I hope this guy comes back quick because I like Buster Posey.
It hit him pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean,
well, that's one thing. You know, you're going to get hit in the head. You're going to get hit in the head.
Yeah.
But at least he doesn't. He doesn't claim he didn't get hit in the head and grab his leg.
Yeah, well, that's true. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff going on in baseball. You've been liking the season so far? You enjoying it?
No, not really.
Really?
Yeah, not really. It'll pick up here pretty quick.
And David Ross, by the way, who was with the catcher, was it for the world champion Chicago Cubs, played on the Dodgers for a while too. Apparently, he got his World Series ring and he couldn't be there, but he's on Dancing with the Stars. So there was a rain delay here last week, and they showed his performance on Dancing with the Stars.
And
I think he's going to probably come in, towards the end because there's a lot of Cub fans and they won the World Series. I bet you he gets a.
Well, he should win. Just automatically, he should win.
If there's a bust any kind
Hey,
of
listen,
move.
I want to show you something. We have a camera right here, don't we?
Yeah, we do this show if you get to see it live on camera at crntalk.com or on Roku or at Tiki Live. You can do it. And
do you see this, ladies and gentlemen?
And if you can, Fred's holding up a picture. I'll describe it for you radio-only listeners. It's a picture of Fred Dryer, obviously when he was Hunter, holding two little babies. It's so cute.
Yeah.
Tell us about this.
This was an episode we shot down Manhattan Beach,
Yes.
and in the story in this episode, there was a woman who had a child, and Hunter was called to the house, and the baby was there, and I forgot how the baby played a part in the show, but the point is that when you have children, you have to get two of them, because there it is. You have to get two of them because one can only work in front of the camera for a limited amount of time.
I've heard that.
Then you have to shuffle them. So they got twins. These are twin babies, and one's head is on sideways.
No, his head's not on side. So you worked these two kids. They had agents already that would only let them work for so long.
I think the one on the right was the one that was hired for the role. And the one on the left came along.
It was a backup
because it was kind of
twins.
It was a backup for the baby. It was a beautiful afternoon that day. We went down to the beach. I said, let me see these babies. So I picked them up like that, and I walked around with them, and they were just so
kind of
thrilling.
manhandling these kids.
Not
you could
at
get
all.
into trouble with that.
No, hey, they went through birth. They went through the birth canal. How
So having a Hunter hold
having
them
me hold them is a.
You seem like you have a nice way with kids. That's why you got the grandkids and you have the
Well, look
lovely
at the
daughter.
one on the right. She's thrilled.
The one on the
The
right
two
was the one that
girls.
got hired for the job, and then the one on the left was just the backup.
And the one on the left was, on call, as you can see. And she just said, wake me up. I'll be ready to go on camera. I don't need any makeup. So there it is.
All right, if this is the Sports Lounge, that's Fred Dryer. I'm Michael Horn, CRN, the Competition Radio Network. Glad to have you with us. Thanks for joining us.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit innatlagunabeach.com.
Mortgage rates are at all-time lows. If you have not refinanced your current mortgage in the last few years, you could be losing thousands of dollars a year by paying too high of an APR. And the place to call is LendingTree to find out how low you can go. We can match you with lenders offering some of the lowest rates APRs available. Some APRs are lower than 3%. Imagine how much money you can save every month if your current mortgage is at 6% or higher. And all it takes is one free call to LendingTree to match you with a lender who may be able to lower your current home mortgage rate. Learn how to potentially save thousands by refinancing your current mortgage. Call LendingTree right now. NMLS 1136.
800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. That's 800-628-5067.
Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club. That little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. But now they're asking for your help in helping out a very worthy cause. Columbo's proudly supports Friends of Barnabas. It's an organization that sends teams of medical, dental, and vision care specialists to rural areas of Honduras. And on April 30th, Los Robles Medical Mission holds their 4th annual benefit at Fox Field Ranch in Lake Sherwood from 3 to 10 p.m. Live music, barbecue, a silent auction, and so much more for those with so much less. For more info, go to eventbrite.com. EVENTBRITE.com and search Los Robles. It's a day of fun that helps those in desperate need. Columbo's, a proud backer of Friends of Barnabas. See you Sunday, April 30th at Foxfield Ranch in Lake Sherwood. And thank you.
What do we have that no one else has on this show? Well, we got Mike Horn. Anybody can have that. We got bumper music. Yeah, we do. We got stories about sports. Yeah, we got that. But we don't have the acting legend and the all-pro defensive end, the one and only Fred Dreyer. That's what makes this show special. And he can play the bass as well, too, and also this little guitar.
And where else can you get wonderful stories of these two babies?
Yeah, that's from your Hunter days. That's great.
There's all kinds of interesting stories that come to mind after doing a show for 7 years.
Right,
and it's the great people, and I'm telling you, these kids. I remember these two girls.
What episode was that in Hunter that you had with
these
the
two
twins?
Hilia. Yeah, Hilia. These two girls were so hilarious, and the mother was great. And
Fred Dreyer somebody sent in a picture of him holding two little babies, twins, and they had to have two because they could only work them for so long in the shots.
And they had to rotate kids.
Rotate the kids.
That was the union.
Did they ever rotate you?
That was
Hunter?
the union rules. Yeah, there's another guy outside.
There is a guy looks just like you.
Yeah, and I get tired. That guy comes in and.
All right, championship rings. You know, the Cubs waited for a while. Some of the guys from the championship team 108 years ago were a little ticked off with the ring ceremony, that these rings were nicer, some of these guys that were 135 years old, because the Cubs got their rings, the World Series championship rings. There's 108 diamonds in the ring because it took them 108 years to get another world championship. It's pretty nice, isn't it?
That's a nice ring, you know.
I was reading a book. I've talked about the Lakers, basketball Lakers, were the first to design their own rings. Apparently, before the Lakers designed their own, they had just the same kind of ring every year as a championship ring. But the Lakers started to say, well, look, we want everyone to be different. When Phil Jackson was there, they showed the triangle offense. One year he had a ring with 11 things. So they had 11 championships on there. And so it's like they made them each special. And now everybody seems to do that. They design their own championship ring. What did you design for your championship ring with the Rams?
What did I design? I mean, the NFC championship ring?
Yeah, did you have it? That's right. You did get an NFC championship, not the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Did you get an NFC
Well,
ring?
here's what it was.
What was it?
You know, they gave it to us in a box. We opened it up and went, wow, second place ring.
Beautiful.
This is really great. And then someone said, yeah, it's the exact copy. It's the exact copy of the Baltimore Colts World Championship ring.
It's good. Save money on that.
That Don Klosterman at that time was the general manager of the Rams. Decided, hey, here's a design that can't miss. It's a replica of the Colts championship ring in '71. But those things don't carry much weight, especially my fingers. You know, I've got so many broken fingers. I can't get rings over the knuckles.
How many broken fingers in your career?
8.
8?
I've had 8.
How about a nose?
I've had 3 of those.
How about concussions? That's a scary
I've
one.
had a lot.
Yeah.
Hospitalized with 7.
So Buster Posey said he was happy that they put him on the DL because he takes that as serious. And so that's the deal. In football, though, you don't think about it as much because every day you're getting knocked around. So I don't think it was as important. It was important to you if you had it, of course. But that's why this thing went unchecked for so many years. Like, well, it's football. They're going to get their heads hit. Am I right? Was that the attitude?
Yeah. Well, yes. But
in the hospital, how many times?
I was hospitalized. I had 7 concussions that were hospital worthy, and I either went there for a short period of time or I stayed overnight. I think I stayed overnight twice, and then I was checked out the other times.
I've seen hockey. I'm a big hockey fan. I've seen guys hit the ice over there. Before they had helmets, that had to be really scary. And those guys, some guys' careers over with after that. They get hit so hard on that ice over there, and they're just gone. You know,
I can't watch MMA.
You can't? No, you don't have to watch that martial
when
arts.
I see these guys get their brains rattled, I cringe.
Yeah.
You have no idea the damage that is going to do.
I'm telling you. All right, any football news for us this week now? You got anything going on there? St. Louis, apparently, the team is the L.A. Rams are being sued by St. Louis. St. Louis suing the NFL and the Rams over the team's move to Los Angeles.
All 31 teams because
it's a little late, isn't it?
because they're losing revenue.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is. They're losing revenue, and this team, just remember this: this team lost 2 major football franchises in its existence. They lost the Cardinals to Arizona, and they were given the Rams on a fluke, and then they lost it back to LA. You know, so this city can't. Not only did they screw it up once with the Cardinals, they screwed it up with the Rams the second time.
That's it. All right, stand by. We should be having Hall of Fame broadcaster Bob Miller, who retired this season from the broadcast booth. 44 seasons with the Los Angeles Kings. And one of the times he was going to get it right, but he quit after 44. I said he should have gone one more.
Couldn't hang in there, huh?
Couldn't hang in for the 45th. But we'll still talk to him anyway.
This is the Mungle on Movies. I'm Matt Mungle. The Fate of the Furious opens this week. Charlize Theron plays Cypher and talks about her character.
At her core, she is rapacious, and she definitely suffers from wanting it all. At moments, not even knowing why she wants it all. And that says a lot about a character. There's something about her that we haven't quite fully delved into in this film, which lends itself to great possibilities later.
For more reviews, interviews, and movie info, visit mungleshow.com or follow me on Twitter @TheMungle.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
CRN listeners, when you come to Southern California, stop by a great restaurant, the Dresden Restaurant at 1760 North Vermont Avenue in Hollywood. Enjoy great entertainment, like the music of the legendary Marty and Elaine at the world-famous Dresden Restaurant. The Dresden was a location for the making of the movie Swingers. Now you can swing with stars Marty and Elaine. Plus, enjoy great food, too, like French onion soup, artichoke hearts, and many other great appetizers. Seafood, there's salmon, shrimp scampi, New Zealand orange roughy, halibut, Lake Superior whitefish, and specialties like veal, marsala, piccata, and parmigiana. Plus, we've got a great roast rack of lamb, chicken piccata, and cordon bleu, and pasta dishes, too. Steaks, filet, New York, Chateaubriand for two. Much more, too, including pork chops, prime rib of beef, and an incredibly extra large cut of prime rib. It's the Dresden Restaurant, open for lunch Monday through Saturday and dinner Monday through Sunday. Check us out at 1760 North Vermont Avenue or call 323-665-4294.
Any Napa guy knows, and science proves, the best minivan is the one you've already got. Part kid transporter, part drywall mover. Who cares if the faux wood grain is a little faded? That was a platinum package option in 1987. With over 400,000 parts and a little Napa know-how, you can keep anything on the road. Because it's not old, it's vintage. That's Napa know-how.
We're back in the Sports Lounge. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, the all-pro defensive end, the sultan of safeties. 2 safeties in one game in the same quarter. And, of course, the acting icon, Hunter Land's End. He was with Sharon Stone. That's what I want to hear about in Crisis just last year. Or I should say at Agent X. Crisis the year before that. I'm talking about, who is it again? Fred Dreyer. He's the
that's
he's the
what I think it was. You know, I can't talk about Sharon because we
what happened?
Well, the attorneys got involved in it, and we can't talk about it.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding you. Hey, we have a great guest here, I think.
Sharon Stone? Is she going to be on the show?
No, we got a better guest,
Who?
a much more attractive guest than Sharon. Bob Miller.
Oh, yeah, Bob Miller, Hall of Fame broadcaster. This guy, 44 years with the same team, and they were going to have him back for another year, maybe a couple more, but Bob said, nope, I want to get on the air with Mike and Fred and start doing a sports talk show. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen. I love this guy. He's the greatest guy in the world, one of the friendliest, greatest storytellers, play-by-play guys. I'm telling you, he's my favorite of them all. Bob Miller. Bob, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, guys. Nice to be with you. And Fred, you're the only guy who's ever said I was more attractive than Sharon. So thank you for that.
I felt as though Mike was going to say it, so I beat him to the punch. How are you, Bob?
Well, I'm fine.
Are you? How's your health? Are you chipper?
Yeah, the health is pretty good. I really just thought with some of the incidents that happened last season and again this season that it was time just to take it easy a little bit, not be flying around and getting into towns at 2:30 in the morning or 3 in the morning, and then fly the next night and then
even have a hockey career on top of that. Bob's talking about his off
day. Right.
I'm just kidding. I was kidding.
But
well,
I was ready.
Everybody that I've ever been associated with in terms in the sports business, even in business itself, have said that the road just eventually wins out, and the beds are not very good, and the seats aren't very good in the airplane, and the food's not very good, and sometimes you miss a meal.
Is that true, Bob? He's depressing me now with these.
Well, it's depressing.
I can't believe it.
Well, you know what? The first 17 years it was like that when we flew commercial all the time.
Oh, man.
But recently, for many years, we have had the charter flights, and the seats couldn't be better. The flights left on time. You didn't have to go through the terminal. The food was pretty good, so I had no complaints that way. But it was night after night, especially in hockey, play a game, pack up and go to the arena, play a game, go to the airport, fly, get in at 2:30, pack up and go to the airport the next night after a game, fly again, get in at 2:30 or 3. And if you're on a trip that lasts 10 or 12 days, that gets a little old. And the other thing that I thought about was, we had single rooms now, no roommates, and if something happens at 2:33 in the morning, are you going to be able to get to the phone and get some help? And some things that happened to me, I thought better off just take it easy and be around with Judy staying with me at night. We've been together 53 years.
God bless
I think
you.
she'd call for help.
Is that your girlfriend? Is that your girlfriend, Judy?
That's your on-the-road girlfriend.
She is the greatest. Judy Miller is the consummate, perfect, wonderful person in the world, and she is fabulous. And, you can spend some time now together and do some things, because before you had always planned it around off-season times to go places, right?
Well, that's right. We could even take a vacation in the hockey season now, and wasn't she great on TV? I don't know if you saw it last weekend.
Yes.
They were interviewing her, and everybody said what a great job she did.
Yeah, Bob called his last couple of games here just this last weekend. One on the road with the Ducks, and the day before that with the Kings, and it was just it couldn't have been better. The way that whole thing was put together, and showing you. I mean, it started off on television with, it looked like either your son possibly or you as a youngster. Was it in where was that in Wisconsin when you started out doing the sports? You were the sports guy on some TV station, I guess, weren't you?
Yes. Well, I actually started out at the University of Iowa when I was a student there, and then continued on into Wisconsin. That was not my son. Thank you for mentioning that. That was me about 57 years ago. So it really brought back some memories. And the Kings on Saturday at home really went all out with the celebration outside the building and inside the building, and they couldn't have been nicer and put everything together. And then the next day down in Anaheim, very classy by the Anaheim Ducks to decorate our TV booth with pictures and memorabilia of my career, and a standing ovation from some of the people at the Honda Center. And it was really well done by both teams.
Are we going to expect to see a statue of Bob Miller?
I would think we should lobby for that.
I would absolutely lobby
love that,
for that,
man. He's got a press. You got a press box named after you. I love to go up there and just sit there in the Bob Miller press. So here's the deal. Everybody always says, "Well, what are you going to do?" Well, you got planned. Well, of course you don't know what you're going to do. Are you going to go back to some games? Do you think you'll watch some games? Or are you going to just watch them on TV and stick the old feet up and relax?
Well, a little bit of both. I'm going to pick out certain games that Judy and I will go to, and probably sit somewhere down there, maybe in the suite or maybe in the press box. But I want to go see some games for sure. I'm not going to go every night, but I do want to see some games, and I want to see some of my good friends, the other broadcasters, coming into town. So, and
you worked with a lot of those guys.
And
you've been there so long. You've worked with a lot of the guys that are broadcasting on other teams, for God's sakes.
I've been there so long, I'm broadcasting games that have players of sons that I broadcast. It really has been a career that I always wanted, and it couldn't have been better for me, especially seeing the team win 2 Stanley Cups in 3 years. That was just spectacular.
Bob, when we come back from our break here, I want to ask you about the changes that the Kings made.
Kings made some changes?
I think they did. And, Bob's leaving. Bob
would make a good coach, by the way. I told him the other day.
Having Bob leave is a blow enough. But now they got rid of their general manager and their head coach, and so we want to get into that a little bit when we come back.
That'd be good. As a matter of fact, Jerry Coleman left the broadcast booth with the Padres and managed Bob Miller. I think you could do a good job there. It'd be nice to see you behind the bench there. Have him back there like a new Rockney style. Go back there and wear a trench coat.
Mike, you wouldn't see me behind the bench for 44 years with that team. I'll tell you that.
Listen, this whole do-it-yourself thing is fine for some projects, but when it comes to window coverings, not so much.
Tell me about it. I did some do-it-yourself shades that are best described as uneven and twisted.
Yeah, I've seen them. That's why I'm going with Budget Blinds.
That's a style and service for every budget people, right?
Yeah, and that is for real. Budget Blinds has no surprises pricing and a no questions asked warranty. The best in the business.
No surprises pricing and a no questions asked warranty?
No brainer, right?
So Budget Blinds comes in, measures everything, orders for you, then they install it all?
It's a beautiful thing. And now you can get up to $500 off on Signature Series window coverings.
Another no-brainer. Number, please.
855-BUDGET-BLINDS. Or go online to budgetblinds.com.
Call 855-BUDGET-BLINDS and get the experts to do it for you at a price that fits your budget.
Call 855-BUDGET-BLINDS now.
Offer good on selected products at participating independently owned and operated franchises only. Some restrictions may apply. Ask for details.
Welcome to Staples.
Staples Guide. This year I'm preparing my own taxes.
Good for you.
Yep, I'm going to be accountable.
Right. Well, Staples can help with storage and filing supplies, plus software like QuickBooks and TurboTax.
Go on. You have my interest.
And now get TurboTax for up to $10 off at Staples.
Up to $10 off TurboTax? That'll pay handsome returns.
Right.
Thanks, Staples Guy. Appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
The tax deadline is almost here. Hurry into Staples for up to $10 off TurboTax. Staples. Make more happen. In-store only. Ends 4/15/17.
This is Pete's Yard, and Pete's happy that winter's finally over. Still, winter's damage is done and has left Pete's yard withered and weak. But Pete knows all he needs is Scott's Turf Builder Lawn Food. It greens and thickens lawns to help crowd out weeds, guaranteed. Just 2 simple feedings, one now and one later this spring. So Pete can easily take his grass from hungry to healthy. This is a Scott's Yard. Pick up Scott's Turf Builder Lawn Food today.
Back in the Sports Lounge, Michael Horn, the acting football legend Fred Dreyer, and our guest, Hall of Fame broadcaster, the legendary Bob Miller. And I didn't realize this, but Bob, your first game in Los Angeles was what, 72, 73 it was, wasn't it?
1973, October 10th.
And I was at KFI at the time when they were known as the sports capital of Los Angeles. They had the Dodgers, they had the Lakers, they had USC, and they had the Kings. And there's always a pecking order as to who goes live. And the Kings at the time, because they were new, they were the last one to go. So I think you did that game live, and it aired at, what, 2 in the morning? Was that right, your first game?
Well, the actual first game in the regular season on October 10th, I think that was live. There was a preseason game that I did from Victoria, British Columbia, that was on KFI. That started at 2 a.m. Even my wife couldn't stay up that long to listen to that.
Man. And the first game, your first regular game was against the Blackhawks, and the Kings lost. Am I right?
Yes, 3-0. Very dull game. And I thought the other night when it was the Kings weren't scoring, I thought, oh, this is going to be another shutout. But they came through, and Dustin Brown tied it, 55 seconds left, and then a great finish in the overtime with Carter giving it to Doughty. And there's been so many comparisons between that winning goal in overtime by the Kings and the home run that Vin Scully called in extra innings at Dodger Stadium in his last home game. So it was really kind of weird the way those two things paralleled each other.
Yeah, it really was, and it was fitting to you because it was a great call and it was a great game, and I mean that was a classic there to have it go like that. That's great, Bob Miller.
Bob, I know in sports like anything else, changes are made. People retire, such as yourself. They move on. Life goes on no matter what. I must say, I was a little bit more surprised at the firing of Coach Sutter than I was anything else. What
Daryl Sutter got relieved of duty this week, and it's also the GM Dean Lombardi.
And Timo Solani is president now. And
Timo Solani? I don't think so. No. When it's Rob Blake is good, that's good. No. But so what's the deal here? Luke Robitaille now is promoted to president. Rob Blake is promoted to VP. Dean Lombardi's gone. Daryl Sutter's gone. What's the deal there? I mean, Daryl Sutter, wasn't he the winningest coach?
Yes, he was. That shows you what being the winningest coach will get you. But you know what? I was I was not shocked by it, except maybe by how quickly they made the move. But watching our team, only winning one playoff game in the last 3 years, as they said, that was not acceptable to our management. And quite frankly, and I agree, the speed of the NHL by most teams has passed the Kings by.
Really?
And the players agreed with that, too. They said, we've got to get faster. And I think Drew Doughty said, we've played the same style for so long. Other teams knew exactly how we were going to play and what we were going to do, and it was pretty easy to stop. So I really do believe, and I don't like to see anybody get let go. Daryl and Dean and then the assistant coach, Davis Payne, was let go, and there might be some others in the future, I don't know. But I really think from a fan standpoint, when you pay the kind of money the fans were paying, you expect to see a more exciting team and a more winning team out on the ice.
Does it happen that way with the great coaches? I mean, Daryl Sutter, what a great coach, the winningest coach in Kings history. But what you just said, they play a certain way, and so after a while, the players maybe get jaded by it, and then the other teams know about it. I mean, is that kind of the deal? I mean, you look at some of the basketball coaches, triangle offense there with Phil Jackson and all that stuff. Does that get old after a while, and they got to make a change?
Well, I think there's a certain shelf life for all coaches, and the thing you hear most is players get tired of hearing the same thing night after night, year after year, and kind of tune the coach out. I don't know that happened. I don't think it did with the Kings, but when you have a couple of Stanley Cup championships, you set the bar very high, and fans expect that kind of play, whether it's realistic or not, every night. But I didn't think we were a real exciting team, and they decide to make the move. So that happens in all sports, where every owner wants to win every year, and that can't happen. It just won't happen in any of the sports. But I really look forward to seeing what they're going to do with bringing a coach in that knows he's got to get younger, faster players to compete with some of these other teams.
What about the change in GM, Dean Lombardi getting let go? What does that mean? I mean, he kind of orchestrated the Kings. You mentioned they won the Stanley Cup 2 times in 3 years over there. So what was the deal?
Well, the deal there was he did a great job in rebuilding this team from the time he took over, and then having him win the 2 Stanley Cups in 3 years. But as everybody mentioned in the papers and everything else recently, there were some deals that did not work out. Some players that he got that played only 1 year with the Kings, and he gave up a lot to get them, and some contracts he gave that have kind of hamstrung the Kings as far as the salary cap is concerned. And, sometimes he put his own feelings and his own sentiment toward players and his loyalty to them over what he should have done as far as buying them out or letting them go or trading them, and it came back to hamper the advancement of the team.
Yeah, well, I think you're right on that, and now you can say anything you want, by the way, now that you're retired. How does that feel?
Better be careful, Bob.
See you later, guys. You're going to hear the phone hang up right now. No, Bob Miller's one of the greats, I'll tell you, but that's good insight. Hang on, more with Bob Miller. We'll wrap things up here straight ahead to the Sports Lounge.
Credit cards are sure fun to use, perhaps a little addicting, and they kind of make you feel rich. Well, if you're like most Americans, you've got over 5 maxed out credit cards in your pocket right now, and you can barely make the minimum payments, right? I'd like to personally recommend a company called DebtHelper.com. DebtHelper.com is a licensed and insured nonprofit debt management agency. They can help cut your interest rates by as much as 50% and lower your monthly payments, saving you thousands of dollars in finance charges on your credit credit card bills. DebtHelper.com does not lend money. Debt Helper's program could have you paying off your credit card debt in full in a 3 to 5 year period. Call DebtHelper.com right now for your free confidential consultation today. 866-706-3328. 866-706-3328. 866-706-3328. Credit card management services, Inc. DBA, DebtHelper.com. 1325 North Congress Avenue, number 201, West Palm Beach, Florida, 33401. Down payment of debt may be creditors to increase finance and other charges or undertake collection activity, including litigation.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Manetti. Go to LarryManetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. There is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryManetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
If you have a loved one you think has a drug or alcohol problem, listen closely to this message. The clock is ticking on your family, and when it stops, someone dies. Alcohol and drug-related deaths have doubled in the last few years. You don't have time to wait. If you think your loved one has an issue, call Ken Seeley Rehab now. Let us help your family. We'll focus on fixing the core issues and help your entire family heal. And we are not just another revolving treatment center. You're not just another number to us. You're a family. We can help your family heal the shame and the pain of addiction. Ken Seeley Rehab accepts most PPO insurance policies. If this is you, call now. We want to help.
800-978-4814. 800-978-4814. 800-978-4814. That's 800-978-4814.
12th to 14th, the showroom at South Point invites you to remember the enchanting music of Gary Puckett in the Union Gap.
The hits, the memories, the great times.
Tickets at the box office, online at SouthPointCasino.com or charged by phone 702-797-8055. Gary Puckett in the Union Gap at the South Point.
By the way, some of the guests on the Sports Lounge today will be going to see Gary Puckett in the Union Gap at the South Point Hotel in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, not Bob Miller.
You're going to stop off at Powerhouse Records and get a tape and then play it all the way to Vegas.
Michael Horn, Fred Dreyer, Bob Miller, legendary Hall of Fame broadcaster for the Kings Online. So, Bob, there's so many great things that were said about you from broadcasters, players, everything. And one of the greats was Vin Scully invited you to get together and sort of hang. And you guys, it's the legendary L.A., the late Chick Hearn, one of the great broadcasters. You're now retired. Vin Scully retired. Are you guys going to hang out?
Well, you know, Vin said I'm not too far away from him. I like to tell people I'm about 4 miles and $8 million away from where Vin lives. So I'd love to do that, to get together with him and just talk about our careers and things that happened. It would be my honor to do that.
Maybe we should put a show together, Fred, with you, Vinny, and Bob, and you could quiz them questions about
and just ask them all kinds of different questions about different things.
Yeah, it would be great to do.
Yeah.
Of course, Bob's not interested in that. He's retired now.
Fly fishing would be the subject.
Fishing and fly fishing. So everybody asks you, what are you going to do? What do you plan to do? Do you plan to do a little more traveling, Bob? Or are you going to just kind of take it easy and just assess everything for a while? What's the deal?
Well, I think we'll wait a little bit and decide what we want to do. I'm already still getting requests. Can you come down and record this? Can you be over here? Can you appear here? And that's fine. That's okay with me. I enjoy meeting the fans and meeting other people and at those events. So we'll be doing some of that for a while, and I'm trying to catch up on emails. And as you said, so many people had so many nice things to say. It was a thrill for me just to sit there and doing the game and hearing people on the scoreboard and on our own telecast making comments about my career. It was very, very nice to hear and very well done by the Kings and by the Anaheim Ducks.
Are you a Winnebago guy, Bob?
No.
You're not going to retire? We're going to see you on the Santa Ana Freeway here pretty soon.
I saw the movie RV, and I said, I'll never be in one of those.
Can you imagine?
Always one of the hardest working guys. Didn't you have a game in Wisconsin where you did like football and, 3 different things in a sports broadcast at the same time one day?
Well, I used to do a sports show on TV Friday night, then go do high school football play-by-play, race back to the station to do the 10:20 sports on TV. The next day, do a Wisconsin football game in the afternoon, race back to the station to do a radio scoreboard, then go in and do a television sports cast, then get in the car and drive to a high school game and do play-by-play that night.
Boy, no wonder you have to retire.
Yeah,
well, like all of us, when you start out like that, you want to do every game that was ever played.
Yeah.
You just wanted to be on the air. You wanted to get that experience. And that's the way I felt about that.
But you've always had that enthusiasm and experience. I listened to the last couple of broadcasts, and it was, you could have phoned it in. I mean, basically, you could do that anytime. You've had up seasons and down seasons. You've always had the enthusiasm there. I mean, that's just a natural part of your psyche that makes you the Hall of Fame broadcaster you are. It just makes people want to listen to you.
Well, that's what your goal is, right? To have people listen, and my goal also to do a game where people say, man, I was on the edge of my seat. You had me so excited about the game, and that's the way I wanted to treat it. Whether the King scored or the opponent scored, it's an exciting play.
Hey, Bob, who's lined up to take your spot over there?
Boy, I don't know. I did not get involved with that. And,
Fred's got his tape ready.
Send it in, Fred.
Oh, what a shot that was.
That's all you'll hear from Fred and I. Oh, that was a good one.
Oh, what a high stick.
Look at that, Jimmy.
That's high sticking, brother.
I'm telling you, there isn't a nicer guy in the world and not a more consummate professional and pro. I just watch and listen to his last games than this gentleman that was on the show today, Bob Miller. Bob, we love you. All the best for you. You are synonymous. You are an icon of Southern California with the call for the Kings and of the National Hockey League. Thanks so much for being with us. Have a great retirement, my friend.
Well, I always enjoyed seeing you guys down at the game.
Thank you, Bob. God bless.
We'll see you back here next week.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation. And you can listen to us on nearly any platform and device. Download to your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry episodes of What's Cookin'. And take Master Sommelier Michael Jordan with you to the wine shop so he can help you pick out that perfect bottle of wine. Stream episodes of the Sonoma Wine Report through our CRN app, TuneIn Radio, Nobex, Stitcher, UTunes, or AHA Radio. And start planning that unforgettable weekend in the wine country. They're in your corner on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and many other apps. And of course, you can always listen live through your local cable TV provider, as well as on our website at crntalk.com. For more information on where to listen to these great shows, along with many others, log on to crntalk.com